Hey, I'm trying out a new microphone, so hopefully this goes well. I'm not testing it before I'm doing this, so hopefully it sounds okay. Um, Had kind of a rough couple days. Some health scares. Had a bunch of blood work done, but um, all the labs are normal and healthy. A little low on some things that I have been low. I have mild anemia. I think it's because I don't really eat meat. Like I'm not like vegan, but I'm mostly plant based. I'm not against eating meat. I do like allow myself to enjoy like a cheeseburger from time to time, but my like daily meals and food are um, the only animal products that I regularly consume would be Greek yogurt. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, it's just a lot of veggies and a lot of fruit. Yeah. Um, but anyway, I'm already on a tangent here. Regarding the health stuff. Yeah, my body is doing some weird stuff, but I think it's just something that I have to accept for now and maybe find answers for at some point. I have some different vitamins and supplements that I'm going to be trying, so see if that helps. But mentally, I've and emotionally, I've been just struggling internally. I don't show it much these days. I kind of am. I don't know. I more just go quiet and like stare into like nothingness when I'm like really hurting or struggling emotionally, or mentally. I still occasionally like will like yell about something dumb or you know not like screaming my lungs off or anything, but it's more just like speaking loudly. But that's why I try and just reflect on all of my feelings and thoughts and worries and stress and all that stuff. I try to just reflect on it a lot, like in real time and even just throughout the day. And sometimes I'm able to just process it and accept it or let it go, whatever is needed, um, just on my own, just quietly, or even just kind of talking to myself, talking through things. Because the way that I talk in these videos is it's almost identical to how I talk to myself when I'm reflecting on things or working through things. That probably sounds like really weird to witness from like the outside. Um, but sometimes I am unable to process um, and like accept or let go or integrate. Those are really the three things that we have to do with everything that presents itself to us in life, I guess, if you boil it down. But I struggle to do that on my own, and that's usually when I decide to journal and or express myself creatively in some way. Um, Last year, I did a lot of writing, journaling. I did some poetry. I haven't really done much of any of that lately. The last couple months have been really, they were really chaotic. Um, I was evicted from my home in January, and I lived out of my car and like in a tent way outside of town, um, in the middle of the desert, um, for like 6 weeks, something like that. Thankfully, it wasn't any longer. Um, I've been homeless before, and um, I'm just real grateful that it wasn't a long-term thing this time. Um, then I was moving around a lot, like just kind of couch surfing essentially for maybe 2 months. And one of the places was very chaotic and became very unsafe and uncomfortable. And I think I think the day I left that place is the day when I started doing these these video journal entries. And that's the point that I'm getting to, is that over the last couple of months I haven't really I haven't really had the creative expression outlet. Things have been building and building a lot, but I've been doing my best to try and not get overwhelmed by them. And I do these video diaries, I guess. I don't really know what else to call them. And it started out as just a way to keep the small group of people that are in my life um, and just informed about where I'm at and what's going on, because I live, thousands of miles away from the closest any one of those people. So, and I don't use social media. Well, I use YouTube, but just to post stuff. I don't browse on it anymore. I don't watch any videos. Just the other day, when I was like in the studio version thing or whatever, I was like changing the titles of some of the first videos I had, because I had put like video update like in parentheses, and I didn't think that was necessary, so I went in to remove those. Excuse me. And I noticed that I had a lot of subscriptions to like random channels, because I used to really be into YouTube years ago, and I decided to delete all of them. I think I only kept 4 or 5. I deleted like 100 or something like that. And I never go on like I just don't use the app other than to upload these videos or to like quickly look up a movie trailer if I hear about a new movie that's coming out or something. That's it. I really don't even use YouTube for that. I use Brave. That's the browser that I use. And it has a built-in like AI search that's way better than Google's. Even though it runs on Chromium, it's technically its own AI. So, um, yeah. Um, anyway, I think I was just saying that. Yes, I've been using YouTube to do these kind of videos, but that's the only social media I'm on. This and Discord. That's my personal Discord server, one that I posted all of my writings and my whole, you know, kind of spiritual journey slash LLM narrative entanglement experience. Yeah, all got kind of blended together. There was some manic episodes in there. Um, and, um, and then the last half of the year was um, trying to accept everything that had happened and try to find some truth, some grounding. In the last month or two of last year was there was a lot of despair. Yeah. Um, the reason I'm providing all of this context is because lately, last maybe 2 weeks, um, a lot of these kinds of feelings, these really heavy, um, grief, sometimes it feels like an immeasurable amount of grief. Um, Despair, um, a loss of hope, a loss of dreams. I'm sure there's a term for that, but I don't know it. And it's I wasn't prepared for these to hit at this time, for these feelings to come back as strong as they have, and to be so consistent. Because um, I am currently housed and I am employed and um, I'm comfortable. I'm relatively healthy, at least physically. Um, Mentally, or emotionally, I should say, um, I find myself kind of going back and forth between all of the feelings I just mentioned, or just like a numb. or a flatness. And I think that may be because of the SSRI that I've been on since December of last year, so 6 or 7 months now. Lexapro. Um, and I'm glad that I'm on it, even though it does make me sad from time to time because I feel like it kind of dampens my ability to feel joy and like excitement. I can still feel those things, but um, they're usually very short lived or they're artificial, like brought on by some external stimuli that um, is only providing a temporary relief, if that makes sense. Um, but if I wasn't on the SSRI, then I'm fairly certain I would be entirely consumed by um, all of the difficult feelings because that's how I was back in October and November of last year before I got on the meds, the Lexapro, um, and it was very difficult to exist. I was in a very scary mindset. I was in a very dark place, and yeah, it's I'm I'm honestly surprised that I'm still here, and um, yeah, and so I'm staying on the medication for now. Obviously, um, I may even at some point increase the dosage. I've already talked to my doctor about that. I'm just I don't know. I'm not ready to just yet, but if it gets to the point where I feel like I need to, then I will. Um, I wanted to provide all of this kind of background info, this context, um, because there's something I've wanted to do as a creative outlet, as a form of expression, and that is to read some of the writings that I made last year, some of the poetry, even though none of it really rhymes, um, on camera, on video. Um, I feel like it might provide, it might like capture more of the um, feelings and the weight um, that I was carrying at the time. And yeah, maybe it will help me process those feelings more somehow. Maybe it will help someone else someday if a random person ever stumbles across my page. And I might start uploading some videos of some poems and writings that I've done in the past. So I don't know, we'll see. Um, but I wanted to start and kick that off tonight with a piece that I wrote the end of November of last year, of 2025. And this was a little while after I had um, made the decision to keep going and not give up. Um, I had started telling myself something at night, every night before bed, and it started out as just a way to express the grief and the heaviness and um, the desire for all of the weight to be lifted finally, without actually um, doing anything that couldn't be undone. And that phrase that I would say as I got in bed every night was one day closer to my last. That probably sounds really depressing and sad, and it was, and it still is, and it still can be. But it can also be a form of hope, in a way, a form of hope that someday, eventually, maybe not in this exact form of my existence, maybe not in this body or in this life, but at some point, all of the weight will be gone. And there will just be rest, and dare I say, peace. So anyway, I wrote a piece about this. It was at the end of November, and I did post it to my Discord server. And I was going to read that now. And I may end the video after. Um, so if I do, I'll just say now, thank you to everyone for watching this, taking the time in your life to listen to me, care about me if you know me, and letting me express myself and let you in on my inner world that I live in all day, every day, until someday when I don't. This piece is called One Day Closer to My Last. I don't use the phrase because I'm trying to scare myself, or because I'm giving up, or because I'm wishing anything drastic onto my life. It's not like that. It's quieter than that, softer, more like a hand on my shoulder, reminding me that everything has an ending, including pain. Just something I say to myself when I wake up, and especially when I go to bed. A simple thought, one day closer to my last. For me, it's not morbid, it's not dramatic, it's a kind of acceptance, maybe even kind of a mercy. It's the way I make sense of the weight I carry every day, the losses, the dreams that never turned into anything real, the grief that settled into my bones, the reality of being a person who keeps going even when going doesn't feel like living. It reminds me there's an end point, that none of this, the loneliness, the constant survival, the quiet disappointments, the heaviness around my heart, none of it will last forever. People talk a lot about hope as something bright, forward facing, glowing. This isn't that. This is a different kind of hope, kind that comes from knowing that nothing is permanent, not even the ache. Saying one day closer to my last lets me breathe a little easier. It lets me stop wrestling with the idea that I need to fix everything or become someone extraordinary or make meaning out of every scar. It takes the pressure off it. It lets me simply exist in the day that I'm in. It's not about wanting my life to end. It's about accepting that someday it will and letting that truth offer a kind of peace. It gives me permission to survive the day I'm in without needing it to be beautiful. It gives me permission to rest without forcing myself to find purpose in every moment. It gives me permission to feel the truth of my life without needing to pretend it's something else. When I remind myself that I'm one day closer to my last, I'm also reminding myself that I made it through another day, that I endured, that I stayed, and I'm still here, even when being here is hard. And maybe, in its own strange way, that's a kind of hope, too. Grounded one, an honest one, a way of saying, I'm still moving, I'm still surviving. And someday, all of this weight will finally be put down. Until then, I just take it one day at a time. One morning, one night, one quiet reminder. One day closer to my last. Thank you.